When I tell people I spent over $173,500 on mentors and coaches, they always ask the same thing. Was it worth it or was it a scam? And what did you learn? And we talk here about people like Hormozi, Tony Robbins, and Russell Brunson, and a few ones that you have not heard of. Some of the smartest entrepreneurs on the planet. And I could taken that money and hired a team of developers in Eastern Europe, or dumped it into ads, or make a down payment for a house for my family, or just played it safe and left it in the bank. Instead, I wired it straight to coaches, hoping it would get me the shortcuts that books and free YouTube videos could never give me. And honestly, at first, I wasn't sure if I just burned $173,500. Because when I sit there, half of the advice felt obvious and half felt impossible or not relevant. And sometimes it felt like I was being told 5 completely different things. But here's the crazy part. Inside those sessions were a few key insights that helped me to go from burning 1.5 million a year to a 7-figure profit and to building one of the fastest growing software companies in the US with a peak valuation of more than $100 million. So in this video, I'm going to share these exact learnings that completely exploded our business so that you can implement them and scale yours to 100 million and more. So let's go. Number 1 is Russell Brunson. 2017, I went to Funnel Hacking Live, which is the conference that Russell Brunson did every single year. And I walked in there expecting really exciting conference talks with insights and updates and meeting some cool people. And that's what I thought conferences were. But halfway through, Russell walks on stage. And instead of sharing content, he starts selling hard. And I watch as a third of the room, maybe even half, gets up and sprints to the back, to the tables there, getting their credit cards out and dropping $18,000 right there. And the only thing that I can think of was, are these people insane? Are they crazy? Or are they super smart? And I'm the one missing out. So what did I do? I ran to the back of the room and I signed up. And this was called 2 Comma Club Coaching, and today it's called Prime Movers. I think they renamed it because the success rate of people making 2 commas, so $1 million or more, was tiny, right? So I commit to wire $18,000. And the question is, was it worth it? Yes, 8 out of 10. And what did I learn? Well, I learned that making people take action is what provides most value to people. So your software, your e-com, your course business is only great if people use it. Therefore, marketing and sales is the core part of your product. And that was shocking to me because I thought the value comes from the program content, but it actually got it from committing a painful amount of money that made me take action to get that return and that value. It was not the actual content of the program. And therefore, my key takeaways for my business were, number 1, I should not sell services at low prices to first build a name and then later I can raise prices. I should sell high ticket offers from the get-go that force people to commit and take action. I mean, Russell just made more than $10 million in an hour by selling the belief that his software is the best one to implement that program. And it reminded me of a story that I never fully understood. Because when I became one of the bigger instructors on Udemy with more than 50,000 students under my belt, there was one instructor that raised prices from $30 to $300 with the same product. He didn't change anything. And his reviews increased after doing that from 3.3 out of 5 to 4.8 out of 5 for the same product. Why? But now I knew, because people committed and took action. And because they did it, they became successful. And that's why the review score went up. My second biggest takeaway was that the agency model that I was running was a bad business model. And we actually needed recurring revenue in a software business like ClickFunnels. Because the revenue that Russell just made, $10 million, is valued at 10x multiple by the financial market. That's $100 million of value made in one presentation. And after that, we pivoted to a software business. And when the day came where the software revenue overtook the agency revenue, that was the day where I knew that we'd broken free from the agency treadmill. But here's the thing, even with a pivot, I still doubted if I could lead, which brings me to Tony Robbins. But first, I will put down the amount of money that I wired to Russell. So Russell Brunson, $18,000. So we had to pivot to software, we had the vision, but I was insecure. And I keep asking myself all the time, am I a strong CEO? Can I really lead this company, this team? Am I qualified, or am I just an imposter? Am I just a fraud? Am I a fluke? Am I fake? And then I go to Unleash the Power Within, UPW, twice with my co-founder. That's actually $6,000. And later, $20,000 more for Date of Destiny with my co-founder and our wives. First, let me put down the price, $26,000. So was it worth it? And what did I learn? Short answer, yes. 10 out of 10, it was worth it. The centerpiece of UPW is the Dickens process that Tony uses to change lives. First, they escort everyone under 12 years out of the room, and then the lights go down and thousands of people close their eyes. So the Dickens process makes you feel the pain of your limiting beliefs, and if you keep them for the next 5, 10, 20 years. Simply speaking, Tony drags you through fucking hell. Through every failure, every regret, through every insecurity, through every way your limiting beliefs will destroy your future. And people are screaming, people are crying, people are shaking. And I'm right there with them, shaking, crying. And then all of a sudden, boom, the lights flash on. And then Tony takes you through heaven, the complete opposite, through every possibility, through every dream becoming a reality. If you just change now, it feels like heaven, like pure bliss, joy, laughter, a way of possibility, opportunity everywhere, abundance. It's powerful because your brain experiences both so vividly that change becomes a must, not a maybe. And in that moment, I saw my vision. I only get one life. I'm the creator and shaper of it, and I'm responsible, and I will lead it. And then a date with destiny, everything is about values. So your values drive every action that you do. And there I was sitting down with my wife, mapping out our values. And I realized that the number one value for her was inclusion. And that explained everything. Her love of gatherings, events, bringing people in. Well, I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, let's get the job done. Why are we even talking? Let's move. And that night I understood how we can become a power couple. And for the first time, my business and marriage clicked into place. So UPW, Unleash the Power Within, gave me belief, and Date with Destiny gave us alignment. Without both, I, and therefore my company, would have cracked at the foundation. But even with belief, my leadership was chaos, which is where Claire James comes in. Inside the company, I ran things like a machine. Work harder, faster, no time to talk, let's get shit done now, right? My style. But it backfired. And the standard was low. I didn't like the output, the work that people did. And talented people quit. And my co-founder and I clashed. Productivity sank. You know, we are both achievers. We're competitive, we're driven, but under stress, we compare, we blame, and we compete. So we hired Claire and worked with her one-on-one for over 5 years. Price tag, $75,000. Was it worth it? Yes, 10 out of 10 worth it. So what did I learn that made it worth it? Well, 2 things changed everything for me and my company. Number 1, she introduced level 3 conversations. First of all, let me explain what level 1 and 2 are. Level 1 is transactional, so basic information exchange. What's the deadline? Who does it? Level 2 is positional. So you share opinions and you debate. Here's my view, here's yours. Who's right? Level 3 is transformational. It's about deep trust and openness. So, hey, let's be real. Let's explore together, create something new together. Level 3 conversations, therefore, move you from talking at each other to creating with each other. And the second thing was that she also gave us the Enneagram, which is a personality test. And we already had done this by Tony Robbins, Myers-Briggs, 16 personalities. I was like, please not another dang personality test. But it showed each one of us our core drivers, if it's fear, shame, or anger. And it gave us player cards for the whole team. And with that, we could build the team up like in Moneyball, putting the right skills and the right personalities together to win. And suddenly I saw my own flaw, that I valued output over connection. But without connection, output collapses. And that saved us over and over again. And arguments with my co-founder softened and became more productive. And the team felt understood. And we built a culture where 85 people today work remotely, globally, in sync. Check this comment from one of my team members. But culture alone doesn't make a company valuable. And that's what I discovered next with Hormozi. I paid $5,000 for a 2-day session and then another $35,000 for a deep dive, which is now priced actually at $90,000. And I rejected the $100,000 additional offer because I felt I was already quite invested. Was it worth it? And what did I learn? The 2-day session for $5,000, 10 out of 10 worth it. Really good. The deep dive for $90,000, I would give it a 5 out of 10. And why, I will explain that in a second. But before, I want to give you context where we were as a company and what I learned. So at that point, we already had 8-figure in revenue, 4,000 customers, 2 million users, and we were profitable. And the first thing I learned was what my company is worth if I would sell it tomorrow. And I'm also going to tell you that in a second. In order to get there, I filled in a scorecard with revenue, with my EBITDA, my growth, my margins, LTV CAC. I outlined the risk like keyman risk, market risk, data risk. And the result was heartbreaking. If I wanted to sell the business tomorrow, it was worth nothing. 0. That felt shit. But then came the flip. With a few changes, that 0 could become 200 million. And that's when I realized I'm not just building a company, I'm building an asset. And therefore, it is a mistake to work in the company because working on the company creates a much bigger ROI. Every CEO knows that, but no one really does it. But this insight gave me the mindset to ruthlessly focus on building an asset, working on the company, and cancel all the meetings where I could only add minimal value. I implemented the scorecard with our leadership team, shared playbooks to grow our valuation, and today my leadership team follows the same philosophy. The reason why I give the deep dives a 5 out of 10 is that they mirrored 100% what I told them in the prep work that we should do. And it was reaffirming, but not worth the money. But even with an excellent business scorecard, if your product and message is complex, you will fail. Which leads me to the fifth one, Matt Gray. I joined Matt's program, FounderOS Plus, now called Founder Velocity, for $14,500. Price is now actually $36,000, just if you wonder. But I still struggled. $14,500 for information, knowledge that's online already for free. So was it worth it? And what did I learn? Yes, it was worth it, 9 out of 10. And why? That's the big question, right? Matt sells simplicity. He makes free info worth $36,000 by stripping away the noise and systemizing it. Let me explain. I thought that for my company, more customer retention, more revenue growth comes from more features, more people, and more pricing plans. But this creates complexity, and complexity kills. And it's also expensive to build more features. Customers often don't use them or complain about them. And my team gets confused what we really focus on. So when I went through the program, it hit me. In today's world, simplicity is the product, not complexity. So clarity is worth a fortune. And I tested it. I built my own coaching program to become an ideal customer for my own software company. I had to put myself out there publicly as a thought leader. I gave a talk on how we made 50 million on social media with a simple system, and people lined up to work with me, and I was able to help companies break their glass ceiling and grew profitably again. Actually, one of my coaching clients, company flat for years, stuck at 6-figure annual recurring revenue, exploded in decent 7 figures after a single meeting. And that was crazy to me. But even more important, I realized that my main company, Passion.io, had to evolve to truly become a category killer with a beautifully simple offer. And that's what I'm focused on right now. So yes, I spent $173,500 on coaches. And no, most of it didn't feel magical in the moment. And I was scared and frustrated a lot. But these 5 insights in the end changed everything, which is marketing and sales is the core product. The Dickens process is a game changer for my mindset. Level 3 conversations and Enneagram build effective teams. I'm building an asset, not a company. And simple is worth more than complex. And this turned a burning 1.5 million business into a 7-figure profitable business, becoming one of America's fastest growing companies, and a software business valued at over $100 million. And if you want a deeper look inside my review of Alex Hormozi's 90K mastermind, then check this video here, and I will see you there.